Okay, so I'm up on the roof of the van and it's time to cut the holes in the roof of the van for our exhaust fans. We're gonna have two fans in this unit, one at the front, one at the back. Both require a hole that's 14 inches square. Welcome to vanofaction.com. This week we're talking about ceiling fans, exhaust fans. We're having two in this 159 ProMaster van, so come on along with us. But before we start, be sure to subscribe and like, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask them. If you find this useful, we'd love to hear from you. Let's get started. I'm up here on the roof of the van. It's time to cut the holes in the roof for the two exhaust fans we're going to have. Because this is the extended body, the Dodge 3500 extended, we're going to have a fan at the back and a fan at the front to try and get a cross breeze if we have to. Both fans will be reversible, and so we can hopefully get the air movement if it's necessary. From the research that we've done, it seems like a good thing, and this is the time to do it if you're going to do it, so we're going to do it now. In terms of locating the fan and making the cut, it's going to be, I've never done it before, but I think it's going to be really, really, really simple having done the windows. It shouldn't be very hard to do. So I just want to show you how I'm going to do it. And I'm sure it could be a lot more scientific than this, but I've got a hunch it's going to work out just fine. On the inside, I made sure that where I was going to locate the fan wouldn't interfere with the structure of the van at all. There's the ribs inside, and then there's the voids where you could put a fan. So I've found the place I wanted to put it inside. I drilled a hole through, and that's what this is. I've drilled a hole through the roof. Now, I have to make a hole there, or make a hole that will allow this collar to slide through. This is for a Maxair fan, but I think they're all going to be about the same. And so when it goes on the roof, these metal tabs go up, this part goes down, and this is where the roof's going to be. So all I have to do is cut a hole big enough that this guy's going to slide through it. Turns out it's 14 inches square. I think that's pretty much common in almost all the fans. But if I make a hole that's 14 by 14, it's going to be just fine. It's going to work out great. So I know where I need to put the center of the fan in the front to back direction, so it doesn't interfere with the ribs. And I want to keep it closer to the front of that space than right in the middle of that space. So I have to be a little bit careful, but not too careful. So let me show you how I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay, so this is the center of the hole, the center of the fan, and I need 7 inches from that hole to this end, and it'll be 7 inches from the hole to that end for sure. So I make that mark, and then I set this grid on it, and it's going to fit. Now in terms of right to left, well, the roof has ribs. The ribs are symmetrical. So just find the center of the van and make it equal spaced. So it's not very hard at all. I've marked it out, and then I take a Sharpie, mark out the square I need, now there's going to be a little bit of fitting to do when the outside collar comes to rest on the roof because of the ribs. And we're going to talk about that when we get there. For now, all I want to do is get the holes cut, so that I can start finishing the inside. The fan will be one of the last things I do. Okay, so now I've got the hole measured out. I'm going to protect the roof and get started. Now you want to protect the roof. You want to protect the roof because you don't want the metal shavings from the cutting to start scratching the surface of the roof. It could cause rust. And on the inside, I've hung plastic underneath the hole to catch the shavings so they don't end up on the floor of the van either. So now let's get started with that. I'm going to just... just gently sweep it off. I could have almost done that in real time. It didn't take long at all. Take a file and smooth off the edge a bit. I'll come back and do this better when it comes time to put the fan in. Today we're just trying to get the holes cut nicely. Okay, now the moment of truth. There, nothing to it. It's in. Now I'll come back later. So when we install the fan, we'll seal it all up. And I've got a process for doing that I'll be sharing with you. But for now, that's all I need to do on the top side of this roof for this particular fan. That's great. One in. I'm going to put the second roof fan at the front end of the van. Not sure which is going to be which, but this is where it's going to go. And it's going to sit right in this panel. And again, I locate it on the inside where the fan needs to go so that it doesn't interfere with any of the structural members on the inside. I drilled a hole through the middle, and the hole is right there. We're doing this to try and keep as many of the shavings from the cutting process and drilling process off of the roof itself, because those little shavings can cause rusting over time or scratches over time. And so we just want to protect the roof as much as we can, practically speaking. This was a used van when I got it. I'm not going to go crazy trying to protect it. If you're working on a brand new van, then you should be a little more anal about it. You should be a little more careful, I suppose. But it's this old truck's been through the war. Probably. There we go. Now, that's set to go. Just like being at the dentist. Now, I'm going to drill a hole. There are those who would be very fussy about those holes. I don't really give a shit. I don't want to really get my saw in. Fine. Get halfway around. Take some tape. It could be duct tape. I really like this red vapor barrier tape. It really sticks. Take it, stick it on the cut, and stick it on the side as well. And that way it'll help hold the work up as when you start to finish your cut. There we go. I'm going to very carefully fold all these shavings back on top of itself. And the hole is done. The hole is done. Let's have a look. Ta-da! It's in there. Lifetime. That's it. That's all we have to do. It's done. Isn't that amazing?